Hello, I am Jung and you are learning English with me. Today we are going to read a bit of literature. Today we are going to learn Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, written by Jung. Well, before we get into the summary and critical analysis of Lost Spring, let's know a little bit about the author Jung. But before we proceed, I request you to subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for getting the latest video updates. Well, Anis Jung was born in Rourkela in 1944, and she spent most of her childhood and early teenage in Hyderabad, where her father was a renowned scholar and poet, and most importantly, he was the advisor to the last Nizam of Hyderabad princely state. Her mother and brother were also renowned Urdu poets. In spite of having got birth in such an aristocratic family, she had to remain behind the parda or veil like any other Muslim girl. But this very same girl went to the Osmania University in her late teenage, and later she went to the University of Michigan, and there she completed her master's in sociology and American studies. She came back to India and joined as a columnist in Youth Times, a Times of India publication, where she worked as the editor also later on. She has worked in many of the prestigious newspapers of India and abroad. She has authored many books, among which Unveiling India is really important. She has also written Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, from which we are going to read two stories here in this particular assignment. Well, as far as the writing style of literature is concerned, Anis Jung follows a unique style. She has not written ever any imaginary or fictional stories. She has rather written her experiences. She has encountered many poor people of India, and she has written about them in semi-autobiographical style. Her narratives are always very lively and vivid and poignant to show the real condition of the people of the lower strata in India and abroad. Well, we are going to read two stories from Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. The first piece is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, and the second part, I Want to Drive a Car. In the first part, in this story titled as Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage, we come to know about Sahib and Simapuri. Sahib is one of the rag pickers of Simapuri. He is a child. Well, 10,000 rag pickers are there in Simapuri. Simapuri is very close to Delhi, but far away from it metaphorically, since the illegal settlers of Simapuri are in abject poverty, and they have made transit homes here. They are squatters. They made transit homes without any civic amenities. They don't get sewage, they don't get drainage, they don't get any running water, nothing as such. But they get, poignantly, they get a ration card and voter identity cards. So we understand they are devoid of identity, but they are in the voter list. So they are voters, they fulfills the purpose of the politicians, political parties, but their situation doesn't change. In fact, hasn't changed over the years. I've already told you 10,000 people stay over there in Simapuri, and most prominently, the only way to survive there in Simapuri is to do rag picking. Sahib is one of the barefooted army, and he gets out of home early in the morning and scrounges for gold, and he doesn't have any shoes. Well, from this particular story, we understand what is called existential crisis. Food is more important than identity, as we find told by Sahib's mother. Most of the families here, the settlers, illegal settlers, should I say rather, are from Bangladesh. They are actually refugees. They've come here in the 1970s because of some political turmoil in their motherland. And they have settled here illegally. In fact, they are given permits to settle here, but they are never given identity. Well, we understand rag picking is the only way to survival, but it's a wonder to the little children like Shahid. But this very boy is unable to be the owner of his childhood anymore, as we find in the last part of the story that he has started working in a tea stall. The rag picking bag has changed into a canister which is very heavy. He has lost freedom, he has lost happiness of childhood, and he has been one of the innumerable child laborers of India. Well, I read a bit from the text to tell you more about the abject poverty of India as we find in Simapuri. I read from here, my acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers led me to Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi yet miles away from it metaphorically. Those who live here are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Shahid's family is among them. Simapuri was then a wilderness. It still is, but it is no longer empty. In structures of mound with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage or running water, live 10,000 rag pickers. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that gave their names on voter lists and enabled them to buy grain. Food is more important for survival than an identity. Well, let's come to the next story. I want to drive a car. Here we get to know about the abject poverty of another part of India, Firozabad. And here we come across the story of the life of the family of Mukesh. Well, Firozabad is the greatest hub of bangle industry in India, where about 20,000 children work in the bangle industry illegally. Well, all the people of Firozabad are directly or indirectly attached with the bangle making industry. Everywhere we can find the noise of bangle making. We can find the wedding glasses. We can find the spirals of bangles are being made. We can find the bangles, the made bangles are dispatched to the market. This picture is very common there. But you know, the people here live in a very pathetic condition. They live in dingy cells where they don't have any light or air. They don't have any civic facilities. I mean, the lanes are stinking, and all the lanes are choked with garbage. Well, since people here keep on working in front of the glass furnaces at a very high temperature from a very early age, most of them go blind quite early at an age of adulthood. In fact, Mukesh's grandfather has been blind also. But most important to note here is that people like Mukesh's mother has accepted this very situation being their karam or destiny. In fact, we find all the people out here are prejudiced of two things. They have been under the prejudice of poverty and casteism, and a vicious circle runs here, due to which they are never made in a better settlement. Well, many sectors of the society are responsible and create this vicious circle, like the police, middlemen, the shawkers or moneylenders, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, the politicians. In fact, these people of Firozabad lack a leader. Whenever they try to make some effort to, organize themselves in a cooperative, police atrocities stop them. So we can understand the socio-political machineries, the machineries of the authority is actually the hindrance, and these people are believers of destiny. These people are prejudiced, and their situation doesn't change down the generations. Well, still we find Mukesh has a dream. He wants to drive a car. In fact, he wants to be a motor mechanic. His dream is very much realistic. He doesn't want to be a pilot. Well, as far as the themes are concerned, we find unmistakably the theme of child labor. Both Shahid and Mukesh, or people or children like Shahid and Mukesh, lose their childhood quite early at an age. Poverty, exploitations are unmistakably the themes here, and also the callousness of the authority or politicians who are given the responsibility to make the situation better for these people of Singapore and Firozabad, but they are actually unserious, callous about them. In fact, these politicians or these people take advantage of the poverty of those people. Well, now let's discuss the writing style by Jung. Jung has been from an aristocratic family, I've told you, but she has always told the stories of the people who are literally have-nots, who don't have anything in their lives. In fact, the children lose childhood quite at an early age. Well, she's employed certain poetic devices to show the condition of these children. In the first story of Shahid, we find it in the name of Shahid itself. Sahib-e-Alam, which literally means the Lord of the universe. But it is highly ironic that Shahid himself will be laughing if he comes to know about the meaning of his name. In fact, he realizes that his childhood is literally lost in his childhood. In the second story, again, the play of irony can be well found in the shape of bangle, the shape of the spiral shape of bangle itself. Well, the spiral shape itself shows the vicious circle, ironically. Well, the author has employed exaggeration again. Garbage to them is gold, as it is told in the first part of this first story. How can garbage be the gold? But this exaggeration is apt enough to show the abject poverty of India, the abject, the pathetic situation of the child laborers of India, the pathetic condition of those children of India who are devoid of any facilities of life, who cannot go to school. In the second story, again, we find the play of exaggeration. Mukesh's mother says, "Ek waqt sheb har khana nahi khaya," which literally means she hasn't enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. This is simply an exaggeration, I find, but this exaggeration is a poignant description about the poignant description of the poor people of India, about whom we are actually less bothered. The use of symbolism is very important here. The title is a pointer here. The title of the book as well as the stories is Lost Spring. We all know spring denotes growth, denotes nourishment, joy, enjoyment, happiness of life. But these people are malnourished. These people are devoid of facilities of life. In fact, lost spring here is a metaphor to show the losing of childhood. So we understand the symbols and the use of metaphor are really very important here. Overall, I tell you, Jung doesn't write any flourishing or fictional story, any romantic story. Rather, she gives a narrative through which she holds a mirror in front of us, and she mirrors she mirrors or reflects the pathetic condition of the women, the children of India who are from the lower strata of the societies. I hope I've been able to put a bit of focus on the story Lost Spring. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Hopefully you have learned a bit from this teaching. So I request you once again to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the latest video updates. So let's see you on the next video. Till then, bye bye.